Hey, so I wanted to record this just to show you some of the benefits of using Puzzle to document your processes. And the concept that I want to share with you is something called deep documentation. So in most other flowcharting tools, Miro, Whimsical, Lucidchart, FigJam, you name it, it allows you to map your diagrams, but there's no depth to the documentation. And you can see here, I have this really basic flow. And what this basic flow is doing is it has a trigger that happens in Monday.com and kicks off two separate automations. This is an automation. I'm just going to go ahead and change the step type to automation. One of them sends a email via Outlook. The other one creates an update on the Monday.com line item to notify people who are involved with the project. But if this were any other flowcharting tool, I wouldn't get much from this diagram. I mean, I can read the text, right? I can read the text on the step. But what do those steps actually do? How are they built? What endpoints do they involve? Where do the columns live? Where are the boards? If it were any other flowcharting tool, I wouldn't have this information. But within Puzzle, you can see that when I click on this step, look at how much information I can put in this sidebar. I have an overview of the request that the client originally made about how they want the automation to work. I have a Loom video walkthrough that explains exactly how this part of the process works. I've listed out the data structure iterations that I made to the board, as well as the build notes of why I built it the way that I built it. And you can see in this step that actually sends the email, I can also save the copy of what the email actually says. And so this tool, Puzzle, allows you to plan your systems. So before I even go into Monday.com and make these changes, I start with Puzzle. This is where I scope out every automation, every process workflow first before I go into the system. That way, I'm very clear on exactly what components, what endpoints, and what messages will be sent across a specific automation or across a process. And then, of course, on the section level, you also have a sidebar here where you can take general notes about why the Monday.com board is structured the way that it's structured. And so this concept of deep documentation allows you to have everything in one place. Once again, you're not flipping from Notion or Google Docs or Word over to Miro and Lucidchart. You can do everything right here in this flow to scope out your projects. And another really beneficial feature here in Puzzle is that in addition to scoping out how it's actually built, you can also add tasks here. So you can say, well, I need to build an extra column for the custom notification automation on the sub-item level. And because there's a task, I'm going to go ahead and mark this part of the process flow as in progress because it's not fully built yet. And so not only can you plan and document, you can also track the progress of your team as they're building things out in the systems that they're doing this work for. So these are just a couple of features that I want to reiterate that are just they're so different from Lucidchart and Miro. And so I always have trouble comparing us to Miro and Lucidchart because truthfully, what we are building here at Puzzle is a full end-to-end platform where system implementation specialists can go to plan, build, and then ultimately monitor the systems that you're operating within in a visual way. So I hope this helps, and feel free to message me if you have any questions. Cheers.